What's up, guys? So we're here in Lancaster, and we want to see if we can get a little interview or maybe talk to the mayor. From our understanding, he made some comments recently saying that, you know, he wishes that we can give homeless people free fentanyl. And a lot of people believe that that comment was extremely controversial. So we're going to come here to City Hall and see if we can ask some questions. Hello, thank you. All right, thanks.
Hi, good afternoon. How may I assist you?
We wanted to just look around the building. Is that fine?
Walk around the building?
Yeah, just look around and
no,
check out.
unfortunately, if you have any questions about that, I do have a ranger available.
A what? A ranger?
No. Can't do that.
Can't do what?
You need to make an appointment.
An appointment for what?
In order to tour the building.
To tour the building?
Yes.
I'm only looking to go around to where it's publicly accessible. No, I'm not looking to go into any restricted areas, nothing like that. We're running a story on the mayor. Is he here, by the way? No, he's not here today, huh? You obviously know why we're here. So yeah, he made some comments. Can I actually make an appointment with the mayor?
Yeah, let me give you the mayor's information.
He is in this building, right? The mayor's office.
There's an office here, yes.
Yeah. How you doing today? So you're the ranger for the place?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, as an American, I don't have to ask for freedom to be free, right? But I wasn't trying to access any restricted areas or anything like that. I'm just trying to go where the public is allowed.
So it's T. Gonzalez at City of Lancaster, ca.org. Just make sure to put the CA portion.
Cool.
Yeah. That's the mayor. Go ahead and message her. Let her know you would like to set up an appointment.
That's the woman that works in the mayor's office
She'll
for
be
him?
able to, so you can set up an appointment. That, her name is Tamara. Tamara Gonzalez.
Can you write the mayor's name on there as well?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I type better than I.
So what areas are available, accessible to the public? And what areas are not?
In order to do that, you'd have to set up an appointment. As far as like going in and out of offices, you have to set up an appointment prior to just to get access.
So again, I'm not trying to access any restricted areas. I'm trying to
This area.
just this area here. What offices are upstairs?
We have our HR and different people, personnel up there.
So you have to have permission to access the public area upstairs,
They're not public areas.
They're not public
behind
areas.
locked doors.
but the stairway and lobbies, foyers, stuff
You
like
need
that.
to be escorted in and out for those.
Escorted in and out of there. I've actually been in this building years ago to do a news story, and they didn't have that before. I noticed that they try to do stuff like this, like especially during 2020, like the COVID, stuff like that. They tried to make areas that are usually accessible to the public, not accessible to the public. But let me ask you this, as a ranger, right? If I go up their stairs and access that public area,
They're locked doors. You wouldn't be able to open
yeah, I'm not trying to go into any locked doors. I don't see no doors from here to there. If I go up the stairs that way, are you going to arrest me, or will I be
I
arrested?
cannot arrest you. I'm not a peace officer. I would just
Okay.
escort you in and out. I do have to ask you not to record up there, though.
Well, again, whatever's accessible to the public, wherever I can go, I can bring my cameras. So
All we ask is that you just set up an appointment in advance before you start recording. That's all.
I hear you, man, and I don't know if they're training you to say this, and I hate to be, the one to tell you, but that's wrong. Wherever I'm allowed to go, I can bring my camera. You cannot trespass the eyes.
I'm not contesting what you're saying.
Right.
I'm just asking.
I mean, especially since you're asking, that's not a lawful request. I mean, you can lawfully ask me, but I can kindly, with no disrespect to you, sir,
How can I assist you?
deny, you know, that. And like I said, no disrespect, but if it's just, if you're asking me, that's asking is a question, right? And so, but I will be going up there just to see what's up there. And I'm not trying to like go into any areas that I'm not allowed to go. You know, whatever's available and accessible to the public, that's where I would like to go. So, but
I do have to ask you not to record up there, sir.
well, like I said, I can. If I go up there and I take my camera with me, will we be arrested, or my cameraman or myself? Okay. Would you have to call law enforcement then in that case?
Oh, this is my supervisor right here.
Oh, your supervisor?
Yeah.
How's it going, man? Not too bad. Manager? So can you go get the mayor and bring him out here and tell him that we the people need to talk to him really quick?
That's not the way it works. Everyone has to make an appointment.
Yeah. Name and badge numbers actually really quick, if you don't
So I don't
mind.
have a badge number. My last name's Contreras, and that's all we give.
Do you have, you don't have an ID number?
No.
Okay,
Like I
Contreras.
said, I'm not a peace officer. I don't carry a badge.
Right. Can I get your name?
Sure. Thomas.
Thomas? You have a last name?
That is my last name.
Oh, Thomas? Okay, Thomas.
So the way it works is you can make an appointment.
Right.
Has the young lady help you with making an appointment?
Yeah, she gave me the email address to contact Tamara, so I can get an appointment with the mayor.
Perfect.
But while I'm here, I was just looking to access areas that are available to the public. I'm not trying to go into any restricted areas. I obviously know you can't. You know,
So locked doors, closed doors, and stuff like that are restricted areas.
Right.
As you know, pretty much our lobby is the only place that's unrestricted.
Right.
So I mean, you guys are in it now.
Right.
Everything else is locked and secured.
Okay, so they were telling me that I could not go up the stairs with the
Yes.
cameras.
That's why we have the stanchions. So the stanchions are so that we can come to you and talk to you before, because we have everything from voting material up there to human resources, all kinds of stuff, city management. So it is a restricted area.
So that is a restricted area?
And when you walk in, you'll see that we have like check-in signs.
Right.
So the process is check in, and then from the lobby on, everything else is restricted.
How long have you been working in this building, if you don't mind me asking?
In this building, about 4 years.
About 4 years. Probably about 1 year or 2 years before you started working here.
Changed?
Yeah, some of these rules changed, especially 2020 during COVID. You know, people, a lot of these installations started implementing new laws, new restrictions, stuff like that. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to access any restricted areas. I'm not trying to go.
You asked a question, I answered it.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked this gentleman here. If I walk up the steps with my camera, will I be arrested?
It'll be considered you being in a restricted area, and then we'll have to get the proper personnel to escort you away from that area. So like I said, we have the stanchions put in place, and the reason we have the stanchions put in place is to restrict access. And I'm letting you know that the only place that is not restricted access is within the lobby.
Within the lobby. But like I said before, that used to be accessible to the public.
Yeah,
It always was.
So did everything beyond there, everything changed. Like you said and acknowledged, at some point these things changed, and we have to adapt to it.
The thing about that is as I acknowledge that some of these things changed, a lot of times because of these types of things, especially with COVID, government tries to put new restrictions, new things on the people's rights, and sometimes they overstep, you know, the boundaries of the people's rights, and that's why we the people have to come in and challenge this restriction here. Like, look, I'm willing to take an arrest so that the people, you guys can open that back up to the public. I hope you guys don't have to beat me up and drag me out of here.
So that is one way of taking care of it. A recommendation that I would give to you is our council is very open to hearing these types of things.
Right.
So I invite you to the next council meeting. If you were to go to the next council meeting and like you said, you're dialoguing with me, everything that you said, I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't take it into consideration.
Right.
I think they would definitely take it into consideration. I've never known them not to. So I think that would be the best course of action, as opposed to risking any of that kind of stuff.
Right. One of the things and one of the reasons why it's important to be able to access these lobbies and these areas, we need to be able to find out where we can get, you know, some of their cards, you know, so the people can know who our public officials are. you know, how do we know, like, who do we talk to and stuff like that?
You're welcome to come to the front desk, and then you can ask, like, for example,
Right.
if you needed a city manager, say, hey, listen, I need to get a hold of the city manager. They can provide you with the contact information for a city
Right.
manager and give you the names, stuff like that. That's what happens at our front desk.
Right. Okay.
So for safety reasons, everything else has been restricted. But like I said, you're 100% right. You have the right to challenge that stuff.
Right.
And there is a proper protocol for that. And like I said, they're not unreasonable. I've never known them to be unreasonable. I invite you to our next city hall meeting.
Can I get a, maybe I can just get it from her, but the printout of the next city council meeting or the agenda?
Sure, why not? Do we have a schedule for the next city hall? Would you do me a favor, just print out whatever appears on it?
And again, really quick, if I go up the steps with the camera, you said you had to get the proper personnel to escort me out.
We have restrictions up there, right?
So who would the proper personnel be?
I mean, we would start with calling the police department,
Right.
letting them know. But like right now, like I said, we have voter information up there. We have restricted
Right.
areas, and everything beyond the lobby is considered a restricted area.
Okay.
And it is by design that way. Like I said,
Right.
we have stanchions in place, we have doors in place, we have locked doors, we have retractable doors, and these things were put to make it obvious that they're restricted. And I'm happy that you asked about the
Right, right.
restrictions. And like I said,
Because of the work that I've done, we've actually had this type of stuff taken out. A lot of times these new restrictions are put in because of these safety measures and stuff like that. But then when these safety things go away, we still have these restrictions. And I think that becomes a massive problem because then, you know, wait, our freedoms were stepped on a little bit along the way. So, but
I respect your opinion. Like
I
I said,
would-
there is a
so my guy doesn't risk being arrested or whatever. I want to grab the camera and I want to challenge that respectfully. I want to go up the steps, maybe ask me to leave after that, call the cops on me,
so again,
have them come out.
We're not allowing it.
Right.
I get what you're doing.
Right.
I can't tell you that we're allowing it.
Right. And I don't want to do it in a disrespectful manner.
Yeah.
I just want to know, I really want to challenge it, right? Like I am kind of willing to take an arrest as well, but
And I'm telling you,
I hope I don't have to because it's the fucking weekend.
I'll tell you what the proper protocol is for
Right.
that. If you like, I can actually make a phone call and see if we can make that happen.
Let's do it, man.
But since I really wouldn't want you to risk any of that
Right.
stuff either. I'm not saying that that's what would happen. I'm just saying that I don't want to know the what ifs.
Let's make that
If you
phone
give
call,
me the
man.
opportunity to make
Yeah,
a phone call.
absolutely.
So print that out for you so you have that information. Let me make a phone call really quick and see what we can do with
Bro,
that.
what was your name again?
Contreras.
Contreras?
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Jackie's gonna bring up a copy. I can't leave the desk. Miss Martha said I can't leave the desk, but Jackie's gonna
I'll grab that copy while I'm back there.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And no disrespect to you guys too, man. You guys have been
You've been
cool
very
too.
respectful.
Hello. Good. It'll probably make your jobs easier too, that we don't have to check on everybody that come in. Let me ask you this, usually when people go upstairs, do they have to give like their ID?
No.
No?
Typically what we do is we just escort you up. We just attend with you.
Right.
You go up there, you talk to whomever, and we just escort you back down.
Cool. In Philadelphia, I recently went out there and I was kind of doing this as well, linked up with other folks out there in the area. And come to find out that they're checking ID at some of these places now. And it seems to me like they're turning information desks into security desks, security checkpoints maybe even. And usually when you go into these lobbies, you're supposed to have the First Amendment, freedom of press to come in wherever's open and allowed to the public and record and ask questions. And it seems like they're trying to circumvent, you know, they're making you give up your Fourth Amendment by checking ID, you know, in order to practice your First Amendment. And we as a people, man, we shouldn't have to give up our ID or name or nothing like that to come in and ask questions. You know what I mean? Because Fourth Amendment, unless you commit a crime and are being arrested, you don't have to give ID. You know, and this is kind of...
Typically we don't check IDs or let you in and out. We just
Good.
ask around.
That's good.
If you
That's
want to
good.
go up and down, we just
Right,
ask
right.
to escort you just in case.
Right. That's good.
As far as like appointments, that's just set up an appointment.
Word.
Because whoever might be up there might not
Right,
be
right,
there
right,
today,
right,
or
right.
might not be in a different location. Might be in a different location. As far as going in and out, yeah, you just say hi, you go up there, let you up, do your thing. As far as recording though, again, prior permission to do so.
Here's the thing about that though, man. I say this, I'm actually gonna make a shirt out of this and sell it, right? What kind of American would I be if I needed permission to be free? So what's not forbidden is allowed, right? And that's where the 9th Amendment comes in, right? First Amendment, speech, press, religion, assembly, and petition. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. You know, Third Amendment, no quartering of the homes. Fourth Amendment, you have the right to be secure in your papers, persons, effects, and your homes. Fifth Amendment, like the Pop Brothers at law say, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean? I know the amendments like really well. I teach this on, and so the 9th Amendment, check, this is amazing, right? What's not forbidden is allowed. And like parents, we have our rights, but it's not talked about or enumerated in the First Amendment rights. So in other words, what's not illegal, what's not forbidden is allowed. And the 9th Amendment covers that. There's freedoms that we even have that we don't even know that we have. We don't really talk about this shit. What I teach, man, I tell people that we should all be talking about the amendments at the dinner tables in America every single night, man. And I think this is something, this community, it kind of grew, and I think it's a beautiful thing because it's something that everybody's involved in. The red hats, the blue hats, black, white, fucking everybody is getting involved. In reality, I think everybody, you truly don't respect other people's rights unless you know your own. And me knowing my rights really made me respect everybody, you know what I mean? And I just think it's a beautiful thing, man. And sometimes we gotta challenge this stuff, man, you know?
Completely.
I appreciate you, man.
No, you've been completely respectful. You've been completely respectful. You haven't done anything unlawful or anything like that.
Is it logical, some of the stuff that I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Sound logical?
Yeah. I'm just...
I know you guys got a job to do, and I'm not trying to be mean either, you know?
You're not...
You guys are hella chill, too.
Here's the commission meetings, all of the city hall meetings, and then I'm trying to get a hold of somebody right now. I'm supposed to be getting a call back to see if we can make access without having to do all of that. You know? So you got a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just continue to try to contact somebody to get a hold of that.
Cool. Yeah, man, we just came from Arvin, California. You know where that's at? Arvin. You guys never heard of Arvin? It's not that far from here. You ever heard of Arvin, California? Are you guys normally from around here?
Yeah.
Lancaster? You guys come from the LA area?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, so Arvin, California is a small town. There's a chief of police there, right? Come to find out, this guy's name is Alex Gazalpour, but I do news stories, and through my work, 6 different police chiefs have been forced to resign. So come to find out, this guy was actually fired from a different department down south in a little smaller area called Palos Verdes Estates. He got caught stealing money, and he was charged and convicted. But cops have a lot of umbrellas of protection. And so I guess the Attorney General had it to where he completes his probation period and he could take back his guilty plea and plead not guilty, wiped clean, record wiped clean. So he takes that, becomes a reserve officer in Maricopa, California. In Maricopa, California, there was only 2 cops there. They were pulling everybody over. He was one of them. They're pulling everybody over, so the people didn't want to drive through there no more. Hence, a lot of businesses started going under. Then, when they didn't have nobody to pull over, they started to pull over all the people that were working in the areas, little warehouses or packing areas, whatever. Mostly, predominantly Mexican folks. He had a deal going on with the tow trucks where they were giving them money under the table to impound all these cars. Because of him and the shit that he was doing in Maricopa, that entire department was disbanded. Defund the police isn't new. It's actually happened before, right? And so they disbanded that department, and Alex Gazarian kind of wiped his hands clean, goes to Arvin, California, becomes a reserve officer, and all of a sudden he's the chief of police under the name Alex Gazalpour. He changed his name. And because the Attorney General thinks it's okay to give cops, you know, this extra umbrella of protection, he becomes chief of police and nobody really knows who he truly is. And I didn't find out until somebody reached out to me because their car was impounded the exact same way. So it seems like he has some kind of deal going with the tow truck company in Arvin. It's almost like a copy and paste of what he did in Maricopa. And because of what he did in that department that failed out there, I just went and interviewed a lady out there. She works there. And she told me, oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, they were shredding papers when all that happened. There was a thing about missing guns. He was trying to keep motorcycles. Like, they shredded papers. I'm like, why wasn't he ever charged? Because getting rid of public information, destroying it, that's a felony, right? Especially as a public official. He should have been charged for that. And so now we're finding out that he's in Arvin. Now he's the chief of police, and the goal is to get rid of him. You know, we were able to help get rid of the city attorney out there who was stealing money, overcharging, and he's out of there. But now he's the city attorney for McFarland, California. And bro, what the hell? We're supposed to have public officials serving the people, but all they're doing seems just like hurting the people. And now Maricopa is considered a failing town. The grand jury just did a report on Arvin, and now they're calling Arvin a failing town too. When we're working on a documentary, it's actually gonna be called Saving Arvin. So
That's nice.
you guys look out for that.
Hello. Please check it. Sorry.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You're in a documentary now.
What got you into documentaries?
I've been on YouTube for a while. I didn't know that you can monetize and, you know, just do news stories. So I just,
Social media, like YouTube?
yeah,
Social media, you can make a lot of good content there.
Right.
People are gonna
right. It's worthy content, you know, and what we do is newsworthy type stuff. People love this, bro.
Oh yeah.
Because when people's rights get trampled on and we go and risk ourselves, people are willing to, you know, help out and support. And I don't have subscribers, man. I got supporters.
Yeah.
There's a difference, you know what I mean? And
Well, it's
yeah,
good
man.
content, and it's not like you're doing it in a very respectful and tasteful
Right.
way. So it's like good quality content. You're not trying to do anything. Even if you just came in here and started throwing paintballs at people doing
Right.
something stupid,
that's dumb, yeah.
That's just trash content.
Yeah, dumb.
But, you know, you quality content. You know, you know your rights.
Right.
You're well informed. You know how to approach things in a respectful manner. You know, like it's good
Man,
content.
I appreciate that. I actually kind of started off as an asshole, I'll be honest. My middle finger up, and, you know, I was like, I was kind of rude, but it's not really naturally me. Yeah, I appreciate your kind words, man, because that really means a lot, because I try to, you know, make it an educational thing what I do and shit. And I know you guys have a job to do too, man. You know, I'm not trying to come in here and embarrass you guys and just be like, oh, you know, like,
I'm gonna head to the bathroom.
yeah, for sure, bro. Hey, man, nice to meet you. This is cool. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. Show that on camera, bro. Show that entire thing on camera. Hey, how long have they had this up in here? As long as you've been working here?
Not sure how long.
Not sure how long? Do you like looking at it? Yeah, it's nice, huh? How you doing?
How
man?
are you?
Not too bad. How
My
are you?
name's Rod. How you doing today?
Not too bad.
Good. How can I help you?
Hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. You're a little close.
I'm sorry. I'm a friendly guy. How you doing? My name's Rod.
How you doing? Not too bad.
How can I help you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
No, I'm fine. All right. How can I help you?
So basically, I just had a couple questions.
Sure.
I walked in. So I was actually going to try to get a meeting with the mayor. Obviously, you know why. It's big news right now.
I get it.
But I was just actually walking through the area and just walking through places that are accessible to the public. And I've actually been in this building before, and with my camera, and I've recorded, you know, throughout this whole building. I see you guys did put some, you know, some new stuff in there, but I don't see any restricted access or restricted areas. So I was inquiring about accessing what's still open to the public, right? And the gentleman says, no, well, they put this new thing up here now and stuff like that. And I said, okay, well, respectfully, I said, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, go against his word. And we had an amazing conversation, by the way.
That.
But I told him, if I access the stairway and I go up into the area that used to be open to the public, will I be arrested? And he says, well, I don't have the power to arrest you, whatever. Let me go make a phone call. So
Let me ask you, how can I help you? Tell me what you need today.
if I go up those steps, right? And if I go into that area and I'll grab my camera so that he won't risk being arrested. If I go up the steps and I access the area that I believe is public, will I be arrested?
Probably not. But do you have any business here you'd like to conduct today? Is there anything in particular you'd like to conduct
So
today?
you're looking at it, right? Part of my business is the First Amendment, right? Do you, as a matter of fact,
I'm a believer in the First Amendment.
do you know the 5 fundamental freedoms under the First Amendment?
I'm not going to sit here and quote it to you, but can I ask you how I can help
So
you?
here's the thing. I speak to law enforcement, you know, throughout the nation. And that's one question that I ask every law enforcement officer is if they know at least the First Amendment of the Constitution. Not very many cops can state it. Do you know it?
Yeah, again, we're trying to help you.
This is not an opinion. This is not a political opinion. It's part of your job. You guys can state it.
Can I help you today?
Yeah, I already asked the question. If I access those steps, I grab my camera from my guy, I go up the steps, and I go up there and record in the area that's accessible to the public, will I be arrested?
Probably not.
Okay.
Would you like to go up?
Yeah, I do. I want to go up. I want to access.
Get your camera. Let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's your name again?
And just so you know, I don't need an escort. You know, I just, not to be disrespectful in any kind of way. It's just
You don't
that.
seem like a disrespectful guy.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'd like to stay anonymous, if that's all right.
fine.
Yeah.
You can do that as well.
Yeah. Good citizen. Good citizen. I like to go by good citizen.
I appreciate that. We need more like that.
Right.
So, but I'll tell you what I'll do. If you want to go up and take a look and video, we can go up right now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, not a problem. You said you wanted to bring that camera, or is this one fine?
I mean, is he okay to come up with me too?
I'll take you both up.
Let's go then. Let's go, man.
Now, I do want you to know.
Are you who are you, by the
I
way?
am the chief of police.
Chief of
My
police.
name is Rod Armelin.
Rod. What was the last name?
Armelin.
Armelin?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah,
I
it's a pleasure
appreciate
to
it.
meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Yeah,
man.
you too. All right.
Heck yeah.
Rod? This is addressed to you, so.
Well, right now.
Okay. Sorry.
Come on. I guess I'm popular. Come on up. Let's go. You guys live here in the valley?
We're from the area.
All right.
We're close. We're nearby. I'm actually doing a story on the chief of police of Arvin, California. Do you know who he
Really?
is?
Who, of where?
Chief Arvin, California.
Arvin, California.
Alex Ghazarian, aka Ghazalpur.
Where is Arvin?
Arvin is in Kern County. It's not too far from Lamont, not too far from Bakersfield. The chief of police was just found out that he's using a different name than what he used before. He was actually fired from Palos Verdes Estates.
Doing that.
Right? Well, apparently, I think his attorney general believes that once bad cops go through this probation period,
Oh, with SB2.
he would,
Senate Bill
yeah.
2.
So he was actually found guilty, arrested, charged, found guilty for stealing money from the department, Palos Verdes Estates, and he goes to Maricopa. They're impounding a bunch of cars. They have a deal going with the tow truck company. They're giving money under the table, and that department was disbanded because of some of the stuff that he was doing over there.
Alongside the chief of police from Maricopa, before the Kern County sheriffs came ahead.
Wow.
So then he stays as a reserve, goes to Arvin, and then you start using a different last name from Ghazarian to Ghazalpur. And so now he's using Ghazalpur, becomes the chief of police, and it almost seems like what he did in Maricopa is doing a copy and paste in Arvin, California,
Under a different name?
Ghazalpur. But apparently his name was always Alex Ghazarian Ghazalpur, but he always went under Ghazarian, but now he's going as Ghazalpur. So yeah, it's a pretty slick move.
That's interesting. I didn't think you could do something.
I didn't think somebody like that could become in such a powerful position, right? You guys have a massive responsibility. It would take somebody with integrity to have this position, right?
Not a tainted badge, correct?
I don't believe.
Sorry.
Not a tainted badge.
Well, I mean, I'm a firm believer in the fact that we should be held to a higher standard.
Yes, sir.
And if somehow you've tainted the badge, and I don't know anything about this gentleman or not, and if he has, I'm just telling
Right.
tell a story. But we should be held to a higher standard.
Nobody seemed
because
to.
of the powers that we have.
Right.
So,
A lot of his record was kind of being swept. You couldn't really find it. But that guy, what he does, he doesn't just hurt the people of the town, because now they're calling Arvin, just like Maricopa, a dying city, right? But a lot of people along the way that he actually worked with, he's ruined lives there too. Charging people. There's a woman that was just charged there because she took a picture of a picture that was on the computer, and it somehow got out to the news guy, and now she's being charged with a felony. She's 4 months pregnant because she went against what. But Alex was investigating a crime that happened to a public official. He got punched by his sister at a bar after they got drunk, and there was no arrest made there. They called it a family squabble. And so I don't know who took the picture or how it happened, but a woman was just arrested because she took the picture of the guy, and it got out, and now she's being charged with a felony. Her life is being ruined now too. And like, look, maybe she's not supposed to be doing that shit, but could it be selective policing as well? That other woman who punched the guy, seems like that should have been a charge. It's a crime to punch public officials.
Is that northern or southern?
Southern. Up northern. Up northern, right before you hit Bakersfield. You meet Lamont, Arvin, and Bakersfield going down 58.
So small.
Yeah, it's a little small community, small town. He's not even from the area, man. He comes in and just like, he's like a damn bowling ball, man. Holy shit, dude, what the hell? I gotta laugh at this guy for that one. I mean, real deal. Real deal, man.
Put it like that.
Real.
Well, look, man.
And I appreciate you guys, walking with us up here.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of these restrictions came about around 2020 when the COVID stuff happened, but a lot of times that stuff goes away and this stuff stays. And so we kind of have to come in as a people and challenge this stuff, man. And I want to do it in a respectful way. I want to have conversations.
I appreciate you. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Thank you.
Because I've dealt with, and I don't know if you guys are considering yourself First Amendment auditors or not, but I've dealt with other individuals who've been First Amendment auditors, and the reaction and the conversation was quite different.
Right.
But in talking to you two gentlemen, I can tell right away that you're just trying to exercise your rights.
Right.
You're not looking to create any issues for anybody or anything like that. Right. And all I can do is respect that.
Right. I was kind of willing to come in and come up here and take the arrest, hoping you guys didn't beat me up. But man, I appreciate you guys not arresting me or beating me up, man. I appreciate that.
None of that, man. Absolutely not. So good.
All right, man. We just come out and ask questions, and we wanted to see if we can get an interview with the mayor, but. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you if you want.
Is this the mayor's office right here?
No. That's our city
clerk. Okay.
If you want to try and do that,
right,
you can absolutely do it via email.
Okay.
And quite possibly he might, because he is a very open mayor and speaks his mind.
Cool.
And is willing to talk to almost anybody. So you
very
well might get a reply that says, yes, I'll talk to you.
And man, when it comes to my work, I pretty much have done, I'm the biggest channel in California that does First Amendment auditing. Okay. All right, I started off kind of an asshole. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest. Always middle finger up and stuff like that. But I'm not naturally an asshole. So I didn't really like seeing myself like that on screen, so I decided to ask questions. I've been told, man, this guy, why is he talking to the cops? Like, but I want to ask questions, and and that's why I did find a pattern, man, of cops not knowing the First Amendment. And
I can tell you,
the only cops that have stated the First Amendment, they've all admitted that they learned it from me.
Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you one of my cards.
All right.
If you ever want to talk to me, you reach out. All right.
I'll do that, man.
Anybody, for me, if you treat me with respect, then I'm always going to be open to you. If you disrespect me, I'm not going to disrespect you. But it does make it a little bit where it's like, well, wow, I don't want to get treated poorly. So, but you're being respectful, man. You guys are both respectful guys. You feel free to call me. Send me an email. You want to talk about something? I'm open.
Cool.
So
if you want me to investigate anybody out here too, public official, you send me a whistleblower email my way, man. You too, man. That goes for you too, man.
So you guys know we're a new police department.
A new police department here.
We're forming a new police department.
So it used to be the sheriff department.
It still is a sheriff department,
All right.
but we're bringing
You guys
another
are slowly kicking him out or what?
I can't say that.
Come on, man. I know the deal. It happened in Wasco recently.
We're working together.
Okay. Yeah, all right. But okay.
We're bringing a different.
No, I get it, man. I've been doing this a long time too. I'm not. What do you guys say? It's not my first rodeo.
Oh, not my first rodeo.
As a matter of fact, can you keep your hands out of your pockets? Hey, bro. Keep your hands where I can see you. Keep your hands where I can see you. For my safety. Nah, man. You guys. Hey, I'm gonna go get a drink of water really quick. I'm a little dry. And then we're gonna get out of here, man. Oh, man, I appreciate it. And just so you know, everybody here, man, extremely professional. And this guy was cool. The other guy downstairs too, really cool. The nice lady, security, really cool. The woman at the desk, everybody in here has been professional, and I hope that's a reflection of what we're seeing in Lancaster. You being the chief of police, new department here, have open dialogue. The other guy says that he has an open door policy with the people to come in and talk to him, but he's never there. Are you here often at work?
Man, let me tell you something.
I hate to put you on the spot, man. But
I'm working more than I've worked. It's been 36 years for me.
Really?
You know, this is a third department for me, and I'm working more than I worked in any of the other.
Really? Okay,
so
man.
I'm available. That's why I gave you my card. So
cool.
Yeah, and conversation is always good.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one off. That camera's still recording, but hey, man,
You're good, man.
You guys are awesome, amazing here. Everybody here has been professional. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. How long have you been doing this?
So actually just met this year, and it was because of the whole border operation. He was back, man.
Oh, she took me to the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, she's awesome, bro. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you. Very kind words too. Thank you.
Who have these responsibilities.
Thank you. You know San Joaquin Valley?
I know of it.
Right.
Demonstrated that better.
If you go to YouTube and you type in San Joaquin Valley, you'll find Transparency, San Joaquin Valley Transparency. That's my channel name on YouTube. That's where you'll find this video. I appreciate it, man.
Push back and forward and stuff like that. So a lot of experience.
I'd like to talk to you, man. Just to, it's you know, I'm kind of an example of you know where you come from, and you always hold on to some of where you come from.
Right.
But don't ever think that your environment dictates who you're going to become. Because I grew up down in South Central. We didn't have much. A lot of issues, a lot of gangs. Single mom, two sisters, and they just guided me in a path where I stayed out of trouble pretty much, and then I ended up going to Louisiana because the trouble was just there, and then came back, man. And so I say all that to tell you that
strong testimony.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm a firm believer in everybody has something you can learn. You can learn something from everybody.
Right.
So that's why I was like, yeah, I'd like to talk to you. Because there probably are some things that you're going to teach me. The work you've been doing.
A long time ago, we were at we went to the LA Sheriff's training facility, and then we went to the LAPD training facility behind Elysian Park. And supervisor came out and spoke to us, and he de-escalated because they got called, LAPD got called like if we were doing like a protest, whatever. We walked through the entire compound because there was no trespassing signs. And we walked through, even where the shooting range was, man. I was like this is like a game of GTA. Like, we're walking around, we're just with our cameras, walking around the entire compound, right? And so, why is nobody telling us to leave? And so one guy came out, started getting brave and yelling at us, and then the police were called, and they came out. I'm talking about the chopper. I'm talking about so many cars in full force, and they came and lined up like in riot gear in front of us. It's a record-breaking audit, right? But the supervisor was out there, and at the time he was like, "What if I asked you to come in and teach a class? Would you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he kept emailing me, and I wasn't ready then. I was starting new, and I was more of just dropping F-bombs and trying to rile up the crowd and shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm not ready yet, man. But I think I've progressed my way to talking.
We've got a training center, and we're going to be putting on different types of training, and we're going to invite law enforcement from other, areas, them, CHP, Kern County,
Right.
come in and train with us.
Right.
The other thing I'm thinking about with you guys is, so we bought a really big training simulator. It's an LED wall. I think it's 33 feet long. You can have multiple individuals on it, and so we're using it to teach our officers how to deal with issues. And one of the great values of it is it gives us the ability to teach not just de-escalation, but I feel like you know how it is. Mm-hmm. Cultures are different, so to teach them what certain words may mean,
right,
or certain statements, or certain actions, and then also, understanding that, just because I'm, aggressively walking or whatever,
right.
Doesn't mean that I got a problem with you.
Right.
But I say all that to say, I want to put people through the simulator.
Right.
And we can do a couple highlights down the line.
Can I give a quick tip of maybe something you could run on that? You see how these screens are running? I don't know if that's kind of what you're talking about. That's beautiful, by the way. That's
how that
pretty
runs.
damn badass, right? But one of the things I told the gentleman at the training facility was, throughout the entire compound that I walked through, in this entire training facility, there was nothing that showed the First Amendment, at least the Bill of Rights, because I think cops truly knowing, and I don't believe that we as taxpayers need to throw more money at police departments to train in the First Amendment. Know it before you even apply. It's like a mechanic shop hiring a mechanic who doesn't even know how to change a starter, right? Know this before you even apply. At least the simplicity of the Bill of Rights, because the Bill of Rights is an amazing tool for you guys and for the people. It is the most important tool because it does limit the scope of authority that government has over the people. So I understand sometimes it gets in the way of your job, right? But the Constitution is nothing to scoff at. We see this happening everywhere. Oh, you're a sovereign citizen. Oh, you're this and that. You got rights. Oh, you're a YouTube lawyer now, right? And I get it. I understand a lot of people do argue some of the dumbest crap. I do. I think this type of work straightens that stuff out, a lot of that stuff. And I think cops actually really knowing the Bill of Rights keeps some people safe. And it keeps some,
I'm gonna give you my cell phone.
and I think it keeps law enforcement officers safe as well.
I want you to call.
You know?
I'm gonna give you my cell phone. All right.
Yeah.
I don't get that to everybody.
We appreciate that, Chief.
And
because we come from the city that we're over here investigating, and we've never had a conversation like this with our chief of police yet.
Really?
Nor have we had the opportunity to have just anything like that.
He is a smooth talker, but I can't be jived, man. You know what I mean?
You got too many. You got too much. Well, I always use street knowledge.
Yeah.
But you got too much knowledge.